So now let's put that learned theory into practice. And this is exactly what this lecture is about. I'm going to walk you exactly step by step through the logic of creating a new limit buy order. And I will do this here with the logic that I already have here. And I will start by explaining to you exactly step by step what's going to happen here. And if you're calling the function buy token, then you can call it with a symbol name. And let's say I want to buy my fixed token for a price of, let's say, 500 Ether. And I want to buy 200 of my fixed token for 500 Ether. So first of all, obviously, I have to get from my symbol name to my symbol index, and I can call exactly the same function. I give it a symbol name, and it will return me the symbol index. And then I actually have to calculate how many Ether do I have to have in my balance here in order to create this buy order, because I have to deduct the Ether from the available trading balance. And I can do this by simply multiplying the amount times the price. So we are at, if I want to buy 200 token for a price of 500 Ether, then I have to put in 2 times 10, 100,000 Ether. And what I get here is the total amount of Ether that are necessary in order to buy those tokens. And with this, I can calculate. So first of all, I do an overflow check just to be sure that nobody is messing around with our contract. I have a few require statements here. First, the requirement is that the total amount of Ether necessary is larger or equal than the amount that I try to buy. Obviously, it must also be larger or equal than the price in way that I'm trying to buy the tokens for. So this is an overflow check. And then I also check that I have enough balance in my account so I can actually purchase those tokens. And now, first of all, I deduct the amount of Ether that are necessary from a balance. So I cannot just repost another order and then repost another order. So I really have to have something in my balance first before I can even post a new buy offer. And then we have an if-else part. First, we check if there is already an order, a sell order available so that the order gets executed immediately, or we create a new limit order. And in this case, we create a new limit order if there is no sell order yet. Obviously, if there is nobody wants to sell anything, we cannot execute it. Or if the current sell price is larger than the price I'm offering to buy tokens, then we get a new limit order in our order book. And I don't have the logic for the buy limit order inside this if. I put it into another function down here. And after this function is called, we emit an event limit buy order created. Now let's have a look at the buy offer function. This receives the token name index, so the index of the token, the price, the amount, and the address of the person who is trying to actually buy those tokens. So that's me in this case if I'm calling this buy token function here. For the market orders, I currently just revert this, and in the next section or the section afterwards, we are going to implement that. But for now, we can just post limit orders. And let's have a look at the add buy offer function. Here we are increasing the offer's length inside the buy book for the price in way. And if you remember back, we don't have to actually create something or initialize something, because by default in Solidity, all possible combinations of a mapping are initialized. So you can count on this. If this is the first order that is coming in, then the offer's length will be 0. And if we increase it, it will be 1. No matter if there is something inside before or not, we don't have to initialize it. So it has an initialized state by default. So we first increase it because obviously we want to add a new order to that price in way. And then for this new offer, we are putting in our offer, the amount that we try to buy. Was it 500 tokens we try to buy? And who is that? Our address is it. So we want to buy 500 tokens for this price. So that would be it, just that we have to take care of our linked list. And we only have to do this if it's the first offer for this price. Then we have to take care of the next price's last price or lower price, and the lower price's higher price values. And here we have 3 cases, or actually 4. But the first case would be we have the lowest offer in the whole chain. So we just have to adjust the lowest offer lower price and set it to our price. Then we have the highest buy offer. Then we just have to take the last price and set the higher price from the last price to our price. And if we are somewhere in between, we have to find the right spot and adjust those values. And this is exactly what we're going to do here. First we check if it's even the first order. So if it's not the first order, we don't have to do anything because we already took care of that during initiation of this particular price in way of the order book. But if it's the first order, we have to adjust the higher and the lower prices linked list. So here we go, and we are getting our lowest buy price and our current buy price. And if our lowest buy price is 0, or our lowest buy price is larger than the price in way, then we have 2 cases. Either we have no order yet, then it's very easy. We insert the first one and we're done, right? We just take the first, the order that we have here in our order book for the price in way, and we adjust it according to our theory that we show you, that we talk about in the previous lecture. And we put the current price to the price that we have right now for our first order. And for our order book, for this price, the higher price is our price and the lower price is 0. This is what we were discussing in the previous lecture. Go back to the previous lecture. If there are any questions, have a look again at the linked list. This is exactly what we're going to do. Now, if it's the lowest one, if it's the first entry in our linked list, then we take the current lowest one and we set the lower price to our price. So we have a new entry in our linked list, which is the lowest entry. And from our new entry in the order book, we set the higher price to the oldest, lowest buy price. And so we have created this link between the new entry that we have right now, which is pointing to the next price, which was the lowest buy price before, and the previously lowest buy price is pointing now to our new entry's current price in way that we are offering. Obviously, for both cases, we can set the lowest buy price to the current price in way, because either it is the first entry or it's the lowest entry. Now this is fairly easy. The same fairly easy is it if we are having the highest buy price. So if it's the last entry. So in this case, we take our current buy price's higher price and point it to our new entry. So we have a new entry after the current buy price. And our price that we try to add, our higher price is our price, so that we are just pointing to our own entry. And the lower price is the previously current buy price, which was the current highest price to buy a token. And then we set our current buy price to the price that we're trying to add. So those are the 2 easy cases. These are the ones that are easy to enter because we already have the numbers. Now there's a third case, which is we are somewhere in the middle. So we have to find the right spot first. And that could be pretty hard depending on the gas limit. And here we are trying to trick the system with our linked list, so we don't have to go from the lowest price to the highest price in one-way increments. We are just jumping the list with our lower price and higher price linked list. If our buy price is lower than the price in way, and the buy price is the current buy price, and the token's current buy price that we set always during every iteration of the loop, a higher price is larger than the price in way, then we can set the order book entries higher price and lower price right. This sounds very confusing. If you go back to the previous lecture's PowerPoint presentation, then think through how you can add in the center of two different prices somewhere a new buy entry. And this is what we're gonna do. We run the loop until we found it, and as long as our buy price is larger than 0. And this is just a fallback, but until we found it. And in every loop, we set the buy price to the lower price of the entry. We start with the highest buy price, and in every loop, we set it to the previous entry. And once we have found an entry where the higher price is larger than the price we're trying to offer, and the price of the entry is lower than the price we're trying to offer, we found our spot where we have to insert our new entry. And then it's fairly easy. We add a new lower price to the buy price, so it points to the price that we found as a lower item, the higher price to the higher price of this item, and then we set the lower price of the higher price to the current price, and the higher price of the previously lower end item, higher price to the current price. And then we're done. So try to understand how these things work exactly. Also, you can just try and copy and paste this code from our repository to Remix and play around. You can also see there the step-by-step debugger, which is very, very interesting to find out how the things are actually working. And in the next lecture, it's up to you. The next lecture is an assignment. So in the next assignment, it's up to you to actually implement the logic for the sell token exactly the same way as we have it here in the buy token and the add buy offer, just the other way around. So we are not starting from the highest price for sell orders, we are starting from the lowest price, and this is what you have to implement. And obviously the event will be different, but we are going to discuss this in the next lecture, and I will show you exactly how these things should actually work.